It's your boy Bernard, man. Look, man, we back again, man. This the what? This the third week of us having somebody coming on, man. Today we got another guest, man. We have Prophetess Brandi. And we're gonna just chop it up and talk about a few things, man. Let me make this clear, man. This is not no platform where only pastors can come on, man. If it's anything, you know what I'm saying, that God has brought you out of or saved you from or whatever the case may be, and you want to share with the people so they can be encouraged and inspired, man, just reach out to me and you can come on here too. But we're gonna talk to Prophetess Brandi. Brandi, say what's up to the people.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? I'm shy.
Let me start off. Let me ask this first, man. How did you get the name far as the leadership called, you know what I'm saying, Prophetess? How did you come about that?
Well, actually, you know what? Let's just say I literally was like walking already and evangelizing and witnessing the good news of of Jesus and all that. And so um things started shifting in my life. And what I mean by things started shifting to where I started, dreaming and seeing visions and, different stuff like that. And I had questioned, I asked the Lord, I say, listen, what is this? I started seeing things before it even happened. And I started seeing people and I say, well, Lord, I don't know what this gift is, what's going on. And so I've asked the Lord, what are you calling me to, or what is this that I'm going through? What is this transition? And so the Lord began to deal with me about being a seer prophet. And so I began to like study up on my gift and study up on what a seer prophet is, and which the seer prophet, I started reading this book called The Seer Prophet by James Gold. I believe that's his name. And so he breaks down the difference between what a seer prophet and a Navy prophet is. And basically, I was in that flow of the seer prophet, of where we able to see when we're having visions and dreams, we're able to see things for us. I could see in your house, I could see things happening before it even happened, and stuff like that. And so I said, okay, well, God, if you shifted me into that place, okay. And so that's really just how that came. Man didn't put that on me. God began to transition me in that area, and because nowadays we got everybody want to be a prophet.
So when was the moment? When was the moment when you knew that you had to give it all to God? You say, man, I can't do it no more, man. I'm ready to switch my ways and change my ways or whatever to jump on the other side of what you're doing now.
You know what? I surrendered at a time where and that's crazy because I was just talking to my bestie about this. I made that decision is that because let me tell you, I'm transparent. You're looking at a person that has a felony on their background, okay? A felony forgery, looking at 8 years state, I'm telling you. And so God literally came in and vindicated me. He literally came in and shifted that thing. And so I got to that place where I just got tired because, I was street. I was in the world. I was doing me, everything up under the sun. And that at that moment, because I tell a lot of people is that I didn't have a relationship with God. I just knew of him. Just growing up Baptist and, going to church every Sunday. But when I get out of church, I'm going in the club, turn up and do me.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. Do you think living for Christ is a harder walk than living for the world?
I would say it like this. Nobody told me it was going to be this easy, but I just really believe he ain't bring me this far to leave me. So and so what I would say, I don't want to say that it's hard. I just believe that you have to be disciplined.
Okay, I got you.
I won't say that it's not that it's hard. It's not that it's easy. I just say it's discipline according to the word of God.
Gotcha.
I mean,
So let me ask you this: as a leader, as a leader, you growing your ministry or whatever the case may be, the people following you now in your ministry expanding. So has it ever been a time where you personally have been first frustrated with God?
Absolutely. Can I be real and honest? I'm, going through something right now. I really am. I got to a place where I get frustrated. You get angry. I wouldn't be. I couldn't sit up here and tell you that I don't get frustrated. I don't get angry with God, because a lot of times we question the fact that God, and I just had this conversation, God, why me? Why this? Why? I mean, why you allow this? Why I have to? I'm frustrated. I'm this. I'm upset and I'm mad, because a lot of times we don't feel that God is with us, but all the time he really is. And so, yeah, I get frustrated. I get upset. I vent, you know.
Got you. So what you love most about ministry?
What I love most about ministry is just being the voice, just being a witness to the people, just being able to speak life and tell people about Jesus, letting them know that God can do it for them, letting them. And I like being transparent in my ministry, because I need to let people know that I'm not that girl that came out with a silver spoon in her mouth. I didn't have it all together. I like to witness to people that know that, listen, what you're currently in or what you're currently dealing with, listen, God can turn that thing around. He can do it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't, when we say come as you are, we're not talking about your clothes. We want you to come. If you that drug dealer, you that prostitute, you whatever that you did, you that person that have went through rape or rejection, abandonment. Come on, God can heal you. He could turn it around. And so that's what I love about ministry, is just reaching the people and letting them know about what God can do.
Okay, gotcha. Let me ask you another question. Have you ever been around a ministry where they don't accept women pastors or women preachers or women prophetess or whatever the case may be, or leaders that don't stand for women as leaders?
I haven't physically been in it, but I know that, of course, it's going, it's out here, but I haven't really physically been around or in a place to where, they didn't accept, that, but I do hear about it, and
Gotcha.
it does happen.
Okay. How do you feel when it's your time to stand in front of God's people before you come up or whatever? When you come to a ministry, it's your time to preach, and before you preach, how do you feel when you're about to stand in front of God's people?
I am nervous. Do you hear me? I'm nervous even when you reach out and say, "Woman of God, we want you to come." I get nervous every time, and and I want to go ahead and answer that for somebody that probably even want to ask the question, "Why are you nervous?" I'm nervous every time because it's not me. I want to let the people know that when I get before God's people, that this is not Brandi. It's really a humility to myself, to let God know I need you to do this thing, because listen, I know I can't move, I can't preach, I can't say nothing if you don't do nothing. So I get real nervous every time I get before people. I preach the word and this and that. So I get real nervous.
Gotcha. So most people that know me, they know, I got God or whatever the case may be. I love God or whatever. I'm saying? I love God's people. But I gotta ask a question that probably if you was to ran across a hood dude or something like that would probably ask you. I wanna know, I'm asking you this, don't get offended or whatever the question may be. Are you in this for the money, or are you in this for God's people, to help God's people? You got to ask this nowadays, because it's a lot of hustling going on. So I'm asking you personally, are you in this for the business, or are you in it because you trying to win some souls to Christ?
I'm absolutely in it to win the souls, because at the end of the day, I definitely do not be offended by it at all, because I mean, it's facts. That's what's going on in the kingdom, and God is sick or tired of it with just the money. Because at the end of the day, that money, it don't even belong to you. It's about winning the souls. It's about bringing the people to Christ. It's about bringing the people, gaining that relationship with them. So I'm about winning the souls. I ain't about the money. You can't pay me enough, you know. So it's like, because what I've went through, what I've suffered for, this anointing, this is not me. God is using me. I'm just a witness. I'm just a voice, so it is definitely not about the money. I have preached places where people ain't even paid me, and that's fine, because I'm about winning the souls. I want to see the people delivered. I want to see the people healed. I want to see somebody's situation change, turn around. That's what I'm looking for.
Gotcha. So from a woman's standpoint, how do you feel about being supportive in ministry? Do you feel support is very important for ministry, supporting people?
Absolutely. And it vexes me to my heart and my spirit when we cannot stand and support. It's so much competition in the kingdom. It's so much clicks in the kingdom. Is so much of the fact that if you're not on my level, you can, I'm not gonna call you to my, I won't let you come to my engagement and preach or whatever. It's all that going on, when at the end of the day, we're all doing this for God. And so I'm big on support, you know what I'm saying? But clearly in some cases, and what I'm seeing in the kingdom, people are not supporting like we think they should. And all of it's really based upon the fact that, people are putting their mouth on this person, that person. And so you don't want to connect with me because based upon what somebody said, but you ain't even gained your own relationship or connection with me to even know me. So a lot of that is being done, is why support is not where it needs to be in ministry and in kingdom, because too many people are running their mouth, and then the next person, you ain't even got enough discernment or maturity to even try to gain that type of relationship to find out who I really am anyway.
Gotcha. So say I'm gonna give you an example of something. Say you heard a member in your church as the leader. You heard a member, you don't know you heard them, but then you got word from another member or whatever the case may be that you hurt one of your members by something you said or something you done as a leader or whatever the case may be. Would you reach out to that member, or you'll just let that member lead a church and be like, they can just go where they want to go, or you'll reach out and try to fix it with your member that you found out you hurt?
Absolutely. You definitely need to reach out. My best friend broke this scripture down out to me. Like, when you have an out with your brother, you go with them. I believe in reconciliation. You have to, yes, you definitely need to reach out to that member and see, that, because the thing is that if I didn't know that I offended you, I just really did not know. It's not my intentions. Anytime that you find a leader or someone moving in that type of direction, that's an arrogant. That I feel like that's very arrogant of them, of not to even want to reach out to that member and find out, oh, well, what happened? I'm sorry. What did I say? So I definitely believe you need to reach out and find out and reconcile that thing.
Gotcha. So you say arrogant. So let me ask you this. Since you say arrogant, what you feel about arrogant leaders? Because it's a lot of them out there.
Absolutely. I do not like arrogant leaders, and I'll say that to the saints in the back.
And they act as if they not the pastor no more. They act as if they God. Know what I'm saying? So basically you said how you feel about the arrogant leaders. Let me get off that. What would you tell somebody, that's facing storms of life?
I would tell somebody that's facing storms of life is to hold on. I know it's cliche. I know it's hard. I know it can sound, hard, but I can tell somebody that's in a storm is to basically hold on. You got to know that help is on the way. Listen, I mean, we could pull scripture about Peter and them when they was on the boat and they was in the storm. Come on, Jesus down there, he's sleeping, resting. You got to have enough faith to know that in the storm that I'm going to come out of this. But, Peter, he gets nervous. He gets a little scared. And Jesus basically said that, paraphrasing, like, Peter, man, what's going on? Oh, ye of little faith. Come on now. And so
Gotcha.
your faith you got to get your faith to a level and know that even though I'm in this storm, that I know I'm gonna come out of this. You got to, even though I can't see Jesus on this boat, I got to know that he's riding through this storm with me.
All right, gotcha. So what advice, you know what I'm saying, would you give a young woman coming into ministry, fresh in ministry?
The advice that I'll get a young woman basically coming into ministry, I would actually use my life as if when I was coming into ministry. I must flip it and say it like this. Before I got into ministry, I got a relationship first.
Gotcha.
And so I would tell her first, get relationship with God. First of all, I didn't even know I was going to even be called into ministry. And I was just talking to my best friend. I was telling him that too. First, I got relationship. What I mean by that is that first thing I told God, teach me how to pray. I didn't know how to pray. Show me how to pray. So I asked the Lord to teach me how to pray. And so I began to teach me how to pray. Then I asked him to show me the word. And then I got into word, started getting revelation and, and stuff like that. So I grew,
Gotcha. So it's like, as a leader, pastor, prophetess, evangelist, whatever the case may be, leading ministry, period. It's like leaders, to all my leaders, respect to them. Leaders have to deal with sometimes the problems and the pain of the people that's in the church. So when a leader facing pain, how do you handle it as a leader when that pain that you preaching to them about on a Sunday for Sunday or on a regular, are you trying to help them get through when that same pain come hit your door? How do you handle it? Who do you talk to as a leader? Who do you speak with? Like who can a leader talk to when they going through it?
I tell people all the time, you always got to have a lifeline. Bishop Connie Stewart, like she tells me and she tell other people, coach always have to have a coach. You got to have somebody. I know you got Jesus, don't get me wrong, we can talk to him, but you have to have somebody that, listen, I can go to, because that pain, I'm experiencing some pain, so I got to lean. I got to have somebody that I can lean and can pour into me and what I'm dealing with. And because even what I'm dealing with and what I'm going through in my life at the moment is that I have certain leaders that I'm even talking to and that is pouring into me and getting me through this process and stuff like that. So yes.
All right. Well, what makes a good leader? What makes a good leader? Because you're in leadership right now, and you got a position, prophetess or whatever the case may be. You got people following you, your ministry growing or whatever the case may be. What makes a good leader?
I would say to me, makes a good leader is just a leader that's just, you got to be sold out for Christ.
Right. So do me personally, I believe if your leader is shining, then I feel the sheep should be shining. I feel like if the only thing in the church is shining is that leader, I don't feel like that's a good leader.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about that situation. Let me ask you this. Do you think your testimony play a big role in your life of who you are in ministry?
Absolutely. It does, because a lot of what I've been through and how I've came out, it plays a big part in my ministry, and this is how I'm able to birth my ministry. This is how I'm able to birth purpose. This is how I'm able to write books. This is how I'm able to put on conferences, and so forth. So yeah, my testimony and things that I have went through, it testifies of, hey, this is where I'm at. This is I can only preach about something or teach about something that I already overcame and conquered.
So you basically answered the question that I was going to ask you, because I was going to ask you, did you find God, you know what I'm saying, on TV, routine, or personal experience? You know what I'm saying? I know, some of these questions I'm asking might seem crazy, but like I think I don't just think like the church people, but I think like worldly people too, people that I be around. Sometimes questions they hit me with. So that's why I asked that. Have it ever been a time in your life where you want to relapse and go back to your old ways, to your old lifestyle, and feel like, man, it's more easier if I just go back to doing that? Have you ever felt like that before?
Absolutely. I actually did it. Let's just be real. I've actually done it before. Because I was just like, look, I thought this was for me. This ain't for me, And so I relapsed. I kind of bounced back and went to that place. But, yeah, I had an encounter with the Holy Ghost that kind of like.
With the Holy Ghost. I already asked you. Did I ask you how you feel about community? Did I ask that? How you feel about community? Especially like community, especially if your church lies in a community. How do you feel about, do you believe that pastors who have churches in the community should help the community? They should be involved with the community, that the community should know their name, that the community should say, oh, that's so-and-so church right there. That's his church right there. If your church lies in the community, what you feel about a pastor that has a church in the community, and the only time he come in the community is when he's stopping at that church, but nobody knows who he is? How you feel about that? You feel like a pastor should be known in the community that his church lies in?
Absolutely, because you got to understand your church is in a community, and don't let it be in a community where, like I say, let's call out a couple of acres homes. Come on, have a stock and all that type of stuff. This is the time. Listen, because you're pastoring don't mean you need to stop evangelizing. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a time where you only come to the churches when you on a Sunday and Bible study and you throw a conference. Come on, let's go out to the community. Let's feed the people. I think that plays a big part. If I was a pastor and I had my church in the community, I'd be out there, because it's not about just feeding the sheep in the church. Come on, we got to get on the outside of the wall. See, everybody want to stay on the inside, but that's the real work is on the outside.
Gotcha. So how did you come about building your empire, getting these people to follow you and support what you're doing, and getting in these conferences and all this stuff that you're doing now?
I actually been doing it since I actually been doing this for a while, and it started up under Apostle that licensed me and all that. But you know what? I don't know. I just got out here. I just got out here. Take a risk.
So, do you think? Well, the younger generation, that's a little younger than us. We young too, but that's a little younger than us. Do you think they more of preachers and stuff coming up that mainly want to preach and not put in the work? Because where I come from, I came up under Bishop Woodard. That's my mom and all that, Pop Woodard or whatever the case may be. And how he had his people, you had to know how to work first. He would have you cleaning toilets and doing this and doing that. Before you can even stand up and deliver a sermon, you had to know how to do the work first. So with me, the work is always before the ministry. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel that people want the ministry before the work now? They want to blow up, and they want to ride airplanes and jets and all that before they put in real work with God's people. You believe that people like that, or you believe that people want to put in the work first? Because me personally, I'm all about the work first. I don't even want no label or no title unless I can put in some type of work first before that. So how you feel about that?
I mean, and you got some people that want to actually put in the work, and then, like I said, it can be balanced. They got people that just want to just jump out here and just bam, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't putting in no work. First of all, you need to show yourself. I mean, you need to study to show yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so people not doing that no more. You look up somebody, every time you look up somebody that's been a prophet, somebody that's been ordained as a bishop, you be like, man, don't get me wrong, I'm not judging, but ain't nobody putting no work in. You got it now, baby. To some leaders, you can pay them some money for some license, and they're ordained. You got stuff you're getting online, and you can get your bishop license and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. You can get it for dirt cheap. You
Yeah.
can pay anything to get these licenses. You know what I'm saying?
You set
But
up under nobody. Ain't you haven't set up under no leader. You haven't set for 6 months. And you ain't did no work up in the church. You ain't did no work in the community. You ain't preached the first sermon. You ain't died enough to your flesh. I mean, you ain't what I mean, come on. It's you know, it's with process, it's steps. It's just like I'm a revelatory person. So it's like I tell people I'm like you, I like to mix natural and spiritually. I cannot just, my supervisor at my job just can't make me a supervisor if I ain't putting in no work. She's looking at my attendance. She's looking at how many times I've called in. She's looking at my work. She's looking at, you know, if I can even lead. Come on, somebody. You know, all of that. She just not going to make me a supervisor because I said I want to be one. So in the kingdom, in ministry, what we're doing is that it's all about money. That if you got 1,500, baby, I'll give you the papers. Come on. If you know, but you ain't showed nothing. You ain't set. You ain't did nothing. You know, and so that's how it's going. But you got real people that says, listen, I want to sit and show. I want to put the work in because I understand that it takes work. And so that's why you get up here, people preaching and ain't got no revelation. People preaching ain't really got no word. And we trying to find out, baby, who licensed you? Where you come from all of a sudden?
So my last question before we go, because I know you got a conference meeting or whatever the case may be. Let me ask you this: do you think, to the people that's not with this church stuff, do you think that God can use anybody?
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. All he needs is one person that'll surrender and say, Lord, use me. Come on, it's all about a surrenderance. If you surrender, okay, God gonna do it. Listen, Lord, use me, because I did it. I tell people, baby, if God can use me, he can use anybody, because I know where I come from and what I did and how I did it and what I needed to do it and get it and everything. So it's all about a total surrender. It's all about lifting your hands. Lord, use me. What can I do? How can I help? To see, a lot of times, I know we got to go. We always want to tell God, you know, asking God, what you got, God, I need you to do this for me. I need you to pay a bill. I need to do this. But when is the last time anybody have went to God and says, what can I do? How can I be a servant? How can I be in the kingdom and work? What is, Lord, use me. And listen, God will do it.
Gotcha. So look, man, y'all heard from Prophetess Brandi, man. Look, let me say this again. I want to make this clear, man. This is not a platform for just pastors and preachers and evangelists and prophets. This for anybody who want to share a story or who want to bring something to light that can encourage, that can inspire somebody. Real people, man, that's going through real situations. So, man, I'm thankful that Prophetess Brandi came on, man. All my people that's on, man, thank y'all for y'all support and love, man. Every Wednesday, I'm going to be trying to bring somebody different, man. This thing going to get big, I promise you. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is stick with it. So I need the people to keep me in their prayers, keep everybody in their prayers, man, and respect and love to everybody. Thank you, Brandi, for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right.